Yo, gamer, Name here and welcome to another Tekken 7 video, and today I thought I would talk about the Tekken 8 platforms. Like, should Tekken 8 be launched on previous gen consoles as well? This is going to be the discussion of this video. So this comes about after the recently announced God of War news. If you guys don't know, God of War Ragnarok is now the fastest selling first party launch game in PlayStation history. That's insane. It sold 5.1 million units in its first week. That's insane. That's really huge for Santa Monica. Congratulations to them. Now, why is this news significant, if you ask me, and why does it matter, right? This is Tekken we're talking about. Ain't got nothing to do with God of War. Well, this is because God of War Ragnarok was launched on previous gen consoles as well. So that's what really triggered me and brought up this discussion with some friends of mine, and man, we argued for the whole damn day over this. So now, God of War Ragnarok launching on previous gen consoles means a game can still be successful in this day and age despite having a new, next gen console, right? It doesn't really matter that much. So now, if you guys don't know or are not yet familiar with the news, Tekken 8 will not launch on previous gen consoles. At least so far, that's the news we got from the recently announced State of Play Tekken 8 trailer. Right, it only had PS5 and Steam and Xbox One X. So Tekken 8 will not be on previous gen consoles, which is kind of weird considering the fact that Street Fighter 6 will be on previous gen consoles as well. Now, I say this is weird because if you guys know, Namco and Capcom, when it comes to fighting games or Street Fighter and Tekken, they usually have a very good relationship with each other, and they usually do things side by side, right? Japanese devs always do things side by side. So it's kind of weird seeing how Street Fighter 6 is going to be on previous gen, while Tekken 8, at least what we know so far, is not going to be on previous gen consoles. So now let's dive a little bit deep on like the pros and cons of having a title on both platforms, previous gen and next gen, and having a title exclusively on next gen consoles. Let's begin first by talking about the next gen consoles only. So having a game on next gen consoles means it brings out the best out of the game, right? Performance, I'm talking loading times, frame rate, graphics, all that stuff. Having them focus only on next gen, you're getting quality. Like, without a doubt, you're getting quality because they have nothing else to worry about except that particular console, the particular machine and system they're working on. They don't have to worry about optimizing the graphics for the previous gen console. So that's one of the biggest cons, the biggest pros, and that's some of the things that a lot of people look forward to. Like the hardcore gamers that worry about graphics and performance, that's what they look forward to especially. Second thing I want to talk about the next gen is it forces the world to move forward, right? No one wants to be stuck in the past at this rate. Like, everyone wants to see the world move forward. So getting stuck in the previous gen consoles, a lot of people do not like this fact, right? I have a friend of mine who's stubborn AF. He doesn't want to see Tekken on previous gen consoles. So I do understand that there are certain gamers that don't want certain titles to be on previous gen console. It makes sense. I do get where they're coming from. And now, some of the biggest cons about this is the fact that not all the people in the world have access to a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox One X or high-end PCs. Accessibility is a huge issue. I live in a third world country, Zambia, in Africa, if you don't know. So there, the currency or the exchange rate to like the dollar or the pound is really, really bad. So like the prices for the PS5s and the next gen consoles are really, really high. Like, it's difficult to get a PS5 where I aim. So if it's an issue in my country, I would imagine that it's an issue in the rest of the world as well. Like, a lot of third world countries have struggles getting accessibility to like next gen stuff. So this is a huge issue, right? Another con as well is sales, right? It's possible that exclusive next gen title releases will be affected by sales because not everyone has moved on to PS5 or Xbox One X as of right now. Like I said, about 30 countries, guys, not everyone has a PS5, so this might affect sales. Well, and keep in mind, Tekken is a fighting game, it's a niche, right? So it won't be as huge as God of War in terms of sales, so it might affect the sales, not to a huge margin, not by a huge margin, but nonetheless the sales might be affected. So now these are one of the biggest cons in my opinion, right? And the biggest pros as well. So now, which do you guys prefer? Do you think this game should be released on PS4 and Xbox One as well? Please leave your thoughts in the comment section below. I would love to hear your thoughts. Before I move forward, if you've made it this far and enjoyed my content, please do consider subscribing. I do huge different variety of content, including shorts, I do tutorials, I do tournament highlights now as well, tips and tricks videos, everything Tekken related. If you love Tekken, this is a place to be, so do consider subscribing. So now let's talk about it. Let's talk about the whole previous gen and next gen consoles. So God of War breaking a record on unit sales, right, is a huge statement on the fact that a game can still be successful despite being released on older generation consoles. I'm talking PS4, Xbox, right? So in my opinion, yes, I think the game should be released on both platforms. Give everyone the chance to try out your game, Namco. Like Tekken 7 was a huge success. Please make it accessible to everyone. Not everyone can afford a PlayStation 5, like me inclusive right now. So Namco doing this should be like the way forward in my opinion. But don't get me wrong, I do understand, like for those of you that don't want to see the game being released on previous gen, I do understand, right? We should not hold the game back. We deserve to see this game in its fullest glory, right? Maximum performance, maximum graphics, frame rate, loading, all that jazz. I do understand. But for me, I am for the greater good. The greater good is accessibility. Everyone deserves to try out this game. Next gen is not yet dead. It still has some life to it, and God of War Ragnarok is the evidence to this. It's the proof. This is what we need in my opinion, and I do think and I do hope Namco switches it up and follows Street Fighter's footsteps and release the game for previous gen consoles as well. So we recently got the motion picture tease as well on Twitter. If you guys didn't see that, I did cover it in my shorts. So apparently Alex and Yoshimitsu were teased in the motion picture, like the preview motion capture video. So it's safe to say that the game is still in the early development stages, but it's possible it might be released later this year, later next year. But in my opinion, I do think the release date will be somewhere in 2024. It's good to see that Namco really is working on Tekken 8 from scratch in terms of like animations, right, mocap. I do hope they don't recycle the animations back. And I am excited to see Alex. I did love Roger and Alex back in Tekken Tag Tournament 2. Right, I low-key thought they were good and underrated. And it's variety as well. So, I wouldn't mind seeing them back or seeing at least one of them back. So, yeah, that's a little brief on the tease that happened on Twitter. If you guys still don't know, the page is called NHP-PR. If you want to check it out, I think I'll leave the link in the description. So that's that, my boys. Again, let me hear your thoughts in the comments. Please tell me what you think. Do you think the game should be released on previous gen as well, or should exclusively be on current gen consoles or next gen consoles? Let me know what you think. Again, subscribe, leave a like. It helps me with the algorithm, knows you guys are watching. I'm on a road to 600 subscribers. Please do subscribe. If you find yourself coming back to my content, it doesn't hurt, guys. Drop that like, drop that sub, and all that jazz. So I hope you enjoyed my video, guys, and take care. Mascure.
Don't forget to subscribe!